We have an animal encounter. We we have an animal encounter happening here right now, and I think it's a porcupine, cause I see one out there. Have a look. Have a look.
Alright, everybody, if you're here for the encounter, if you want to gather in a semicircle about 3 big steps back from the table, that'd be perfect. And I'm going to bring in our guest of honor.
They're just bringing it. It's an animal presentation. They're going to be bringing. I think it's a porcupine. I'm not sure. But we'll find out as soon as they bring in the animal, and they'll just discuss the animal and tell where it came from, how old it is, what it eats, and that kind of information. So. Get out of the cage.
Oh, goodness. He is shedding like crazy. That time of year. Alright. Hi, you guys. Wow, there's a lot of you here today. Are you on a field trip? Yes. Where are you coming from?
The YMCA.
Awesome. Alright, well, I'm glad you guys came to our zoo because it's really neat here. My name is Rebecca, and my friend here, his name is Mr. Prickles.
Hi, Mr.
Say hi. Say hi, Mr. Prickles. Let's see Mr. Prickles, they want to say hi to you. Turn around. He's eating his little hickory treat. He'll say hi in a second. We'll go to turn around. Alright, so Mr. Prickles, his name kind of gives it away a little bit, right? But does anybody know what type of animal he is?
He's a porcupine.
That's right. They know you're a porcupine. Mr. Prickles. You want to wave hi? Wave hi, Mr. Prickles. Right.
Can you see them? Yeah, I see.
Yeah. He's more bragging at it, huh?
He's a guinea.
Well, he is, of course, a male porcupine. Specifically, we're going to call him a North American porcupine. That's his species. There are other types of porcupines in the world. Some live in Africa, some live in South America. This guy happens to live where we live in the United States and up into Canada. So these guys are kind of built for adapting to different sorts of environments or habitats or weather. You might notice he's very fluffy looking. He's just like a big giant poof ball. And in fact, this time of year he's actually shedding and very itchy. He's shedding out a lot of his fur in big clumps because it's summer, it's hot. But in the winter he has a nice thick coat of fur that's going to keep him warm if he lives somewhere where it's colder, or it's going to insulate him if he lives somewhere a little bit cooler, or warmer I should say. And then underneath this fur, well, that's where he has the stuff that porcupines are famous for. Now, can you see them here on his back? You see them kind of sticking out on his tail, especially, and on his rear end. What are those things? What do you think they are? Yeah, needles. That's one way of calling them. Their specific name is they're called quills. Porcupines have quills. And these quills that they have are what defend them from predators, so stop them from getting eaten. Oh, actually, here's a quill right here. Alright, if you guys want to pass this down very carefully, you can kind of see it. You can feel it, touch it. It's got a weird texture like plastic.
You don't want to touch it?
Yeah, just don't poke yourself on the end of it because it's like a needle, like he said. It's very, very sharp. Alright, so he has these quills all over his body. The only place he doesn't have quills are on his stomach and on his face and on his arms and legs. But basically all over his back, right, and then his tail, he has lots and lots of quills. Even on his forehead a little bit here too, and his cheeks. Now, I don't know how well you guys can see him because they're so covered up with his fur, but I'll kind of maybe try to get him to hold still, and then we'll pull aside some of his fur, and then maybe you can see how these quills are hidden. Alright? You guys see this here? Maybe take 1 or 2 steps closer. There you go. You see all these quills? They're white with black tips on them there. Look how thick they are. There's so many nicely. All right, that's great, guys. Take another step back. All right, now that you've seen how many quills he has, does anybody want to guess how many quills are there in total? Let's see. What's your guess, Emily? 5,000. All right, it's more than 5,000. What's your guess? A billion. It's less than a billion. What's your guess? 1,000. No. One more guess. How about you? What do you think?
9,000.
9,000. All right, we're getting more closer to the real answer, and that is approximately or almost, can't say for sure, about 30,000. Well, that is a lot. That is almost rounded up 500,000, right? So that is quite a bit. Or, sorry, 500,000. Not a million. That's way too many. So basically, yes, a lot of quills, and every single one of them is really, really sharp. I don't know if you guys are still passing the quill around. Yeah. See how sharp that is? And then if you're feeling it, it kind of felt very lightweight, plasticky. It's not made of plastic. It's made of the same stuff as all the rest of his fur. Just like the stuff that I'm petting on the top of him. This stuff is very wiry and coarse. It's like whiskery kind of fur here. And then underneath that, he's got the soft looking chocolate fur. This is what keeps him warm. It's like his puffy parka. And then under that, the quills, they're all the same thing. Really, they're just made differently. They're modified, as we like to say, by what makes him a porcupine, his genetic code. So underneath that, he's got all these quills that are the same as his fur. And we also have similar stuff on our bodies, too. Our hair is just like their fur. In fact, our fingernails are made of the same stuff too. So your hair and your fingernails, same stuff. And the same goes for him too. His fur, all three types of fur, same thing. And then you can notice here that he has really, really long, sharp nails, or claws almost, made of the same stuff. It's actually got a special name. It's a protein called keratin. And lots of animals have it, and porcupines and humans too. Now, these quills, like I said, are going to keep him safe. There's a lot of predators that might want to eat a porcupine like him. Why would they want to eat him? Well, for one, he's a really nice guy. He's not aggressive. He's pretty sweet. All he wants to do is just hang out in the treetops and just eat some plants. He wants to eat some leaves. He wants to eat some tree twigs, some bark, some flowers, some berries. So they're herbivores. So if you're not an herbivore, you're a carnivore, right? That's the predators that you worry about. Predators eat other animals. Now, he's also a member of the family of mammals that are called rodents. You guys know what rodents are? You heard of rodents? What's a rodent? Mice are rodents, absolutely. What's another rodent?
Roaches.
Roaches are not really rodents. They're bugs. Rodents are all furry mammals. What about him?
Bunny.
Bunny. Yeah, they're cousins. Yeah.
Snakes.
Snakes? No, those are reptiles. All right, I'll give you another answer. Rats are like mice, they're rodents. Guinea pigs, too. Guinea pigs are also rodents. And so are porcupines. Now, one feature they share in common, because otherwise they look totally different, right? They have teeth. Can you see Mr. Prickle's teeth at all? Sometimes when he's chewing a little bit. He's got really big orange teeth. See those orange teeth? Yeah, they're really sharp looking. Look at those teeth on it. Yeah, they're really long, like buck teeth. They look like this in his mouth almost, alright? Yeah, so they're orange, so obviously you can use some whitening cream. But no, they're supposed to be orange. That's just how rodent teeth are. And they're supposed to be really long and sharp. And in fact, they're going to grow his whole life long. They're never ever going to stop growing. Our teeth stop growing when we hit a certain age, but not for the rodents. So in order to keep them from growing too long that they might hurt him or hurt his mouth, then he has to keep gnawing. Thank you. He has to keep gnawing all the time so he can chew on really, really hard stuff, including tree bark and logs, all those sorts of really hard things. That wood is going to help wear down his teeth. And other rodents have to do the same thing, not just porcupines. Oh no, you dropped it. You know what? You're so itchy. I'm sorry. Yeah, I know. He's shedding his fur coat, like I said, because it's getting warmer. Now, he also sheds those quills too because they're fur. They grow back. But he also will lose those quills when it comes time for him to face down a predator. So those predators that might bother him because he's a nice juicy rodent, number one. Number two, because he's an herbivore. Number three, because he just hangs out and doesn't bother anybody. Some predators want to come try to eat him. Well, he's got these quills to keep him from getting eaten so he can survive, stay alive. So they're really, really sharp, right? Obviously, you wouldn't want to chew on a cactus, right? No, that would hurt. Neither would a predator. So that's kind of the whole point of having quills. They're going to make it painful for anything to try to eat them, therefore they're going to be left alone. So those quills can also be used as a weapon too. Not just a deterrent, but a weapon. So that's why he has such a big, powerful, muscular tail. You see his tail there? It's almost like another leg he has. He uses it for balance, for walking around. He uses it for climbing too, but he also uses it as a weapon. So he'll take all those quills that he has on his tail, he'll take his tail, he'll swing it like a baseball bat against something that gets too close and is bothering him or scaring him. And those quills with the really, really sharp tip will get stuck in whatever it comes into contact with, whatever surface. Like say the predator's face. There you go. See, it's even sticking into the wood. That's how sharp they are. I know. So then those predators are going to be left with dozens of quills, usually in their face, and that is not so nice. It really hurts. So therefore, they'll learn their lesson. They're going to leave that porcupine alone, and hopefully next time they meet a porcupine, they're going to stay far away. They're going to just give them a wide berth to carry on doing what they're doing. All right, Freckles, you want to circle? Good boy. You want to raise up? Good, and wave. Good. Give me. Yeah, that's what he's doing basically. We just call it a wave, but really it's a give. So, Mr. Prickles, he knows some behaviors. Some people call them tricks. In the zoo world, we like to call them behaviors just because it sounds nicer for a natural wild animal like this. And he's in our show. He's in our Wildlife Wonders show. So,
I watched that last year.
yeah, did you have fun? Did you see Prickles in it?
I saw that.
You might have saw some of our other porcupines. We also have African porcupines in that show. They look a lot different from the North American kind. All right, face this side of the audience here, Prickles, and I want you to. All right. So, yeah, we love our porcupines. They're really fun to work with. They're very smart, just like mice and rats are pretty smart too. These are just like overgrown rats, so they're really smart as well. And they're really good climbers. We like to show that off in our show by having Mr. Prickles climb along a fence. So you can see him in the wild, he would use his climbing skills to climb up into a tree, and that's why he has such long nails to help him grip onto tree bark and tree trunks. You have a question?
I used to have rats in Colorado, and they could like fit out of their cage, and
Yeah,
they would
really
always
good
land
seated.
on their feet.
Yeah, they're really, really agile, quick. These guys are not very quick. They're kind of slow, but they don't need to be fast, remember, right? Running away is not their defense. Their defense is using their quills. All right, does anybody have other questions for us? What's your question?
How many years in the wild?
Well, sometimes when you look at certain animals, you can tell by what body parts they have, if they're a boy or a girl, just like for people too. So we looked at him and we could tell he's a boy. Yeah, what's your question? Oh, what's your question?
When he walks his tail, all his spikes come out, does he regrow them?
Yeah, he does regrow them. So just like his fur coat that he sheds and regrows every winter, he sheds and regrows his quills too. So he's in the process of shedding right now. And in fact, if you could see his house, he's got quills all over the place that he's shed.
How long does it take to grow them?
It takes a long time to grow a quill because it's really thick, right? It's a lot thicker than a regular piece of fur, so it takes more of his body's resources to grow that piece of quill. So it takes about 6 to 9 months to grow quills.
Are all animals colorblind?
No, not animals are all colorblind. Birds can see in color. Some other mammals can see in color. Reptiles really can't. And mammals, it depends on the species. Cats and dogs don't really see in color, but some others can. Usually birds can see in color. And that's because they fly, and they have to see things at a far distance in order not to run away from them, and they have to see color to find their food. Imagine trying to be a hummingbird and find flowers if you couldn't see in color. It'd be really hard to tell the flowers apart from all the leaves. So yeah, birds see in color. I don't know. I don't think our friend the rodent here does, Mr. Prickles. I don't think he sees in color very well. You have a question?
Does he have good eyesight?
No, he actually doesn't have very good eyesight, but there's a reason for that. He only sees, he's kind of like nearsighted, so like if we were a person, we would say they need glasses. So kind of poor eyesight. But he is not awake during the daytime, he's awake at nighttime. This is called nocturnal. And at nighttime it's really dark and you can't really see that well anyway. So eyesight is not something you really rely on to get around. What he relies on more than anything else is his sense of smell. And you notice his nose is humongous, especially compared to the size of his face. If it were on us, it would be like this big of a nose. So that really good big nose helps him to smell, and that's how he finds a way around his environment. What's your question, Amy? Why do they have orange teeth? A lot of rodents do, and it is because, well, it's a little tricky to explain, but basically their teeth on the front don't have the same enamel that our teeth do. Enamel is what makes our teeth shiny and smooth and protected. So the lack of enamel or the different type of enamel just makes it a different color. Basically, is the simple one. Yeah.
If he's nocturnal, why is he awake right now?
Well, Mr. Prickles lives at the zoo. He was born in captivity. He's taken care of by people. And just like your pet cat is also technically a nocturnal animal, but you might see your pet cat awake during the daytime too. So that's when you're awake. That's when you're going to take care of it and feed it. So similar for him, he's awake when we ask him to be. But most of the time, he's going to be like a cat. He's going to be napping during the day, taking some little porcupine naps. What's your question? Mr. Prickles is about 5 years old now, so he's an adult. This is full grown for him. But he's not old. He will be considered old once he reaches like 10, 11, 12 years old. And he could live to be maybe 20 years old, or maybe even older if we're lucky, hopefully. Wait.
That's why
What's your question?
Animals that can't see, they usually set this on.
Yeah, they use their other senses. Some of them use touch. Some of them use hearing. So yeah, they rely on other things. Alright, well, yeah.
Is a bat a rabbit?
No, a bat is a bat. Yeah. They're not really related to rodents, although they look like rats. In fact, they're called flying rats, kind of a nickname they had, but different family, different branch of the mammal family tree. They are mammals, though, just like we are. All right, thank you guys for coming, and hopefully you enjoyed Mr. Prickles, but he's gonna go home pretty soon.
Bye, Mr. Carmel.
Yeah, wait, bye, Mr. Prickles.
Bye, Mr. Prickles.
And well, if you're still here at 12 o'clock, there's another animal presentation in the Discovery Center. I don't know if you're going home right now. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Bye, Mr. Prickles.
He's a male, right?
Yeah.
How big is the female? Does it look like the same
A
kind,
little
or is it a little bit
bit
different?
smaller, yeah, but they look the same otherwise.
Oh,
Just
okay.
size is different. I've never worked with the female North American, and then the other one we have here at the zoo, Victor, he's on exhibit in Eagle Canyon. He's even bigger than him.
Oh, really?
So I couldn't say for sure how big the females are just because I haven't seen it personally.
Is he also same year or is it different year?
No, Victor is a lot older. Victor is around 12 years old.
Oh, okay. How many pounds is he right now?
Let's see, how much do you weigh? He weighs about 20 pounds.
20 pounds? Oh, okay.
He's mostly very fluffy, yeah, but he's kind of dense too.
Cute.
You want to green meat?
And also, there is also a fish that has the same skills. It is a blowfish, and he also has
The
quills.
spines? Yeah. A lot of animals do. Hedgehogs do, and echidnas, and well, even plants, like we said, the cactus. So spines, obviously really good at defending against predators. So a lot of creatures and plants have them.
Is he gonna eat lunch too?
Yeah. He's a hungry boy. Rodents basically could just never stop eating. Eat till
What
they
is
pop.
his eating schedule? I mean, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, or is it just once
Do
a
they
day?
have more? Do they eat more often than humans do?
They graze all day long, kind of. So they're just like forage. So they'll just be eating a little bit
Here is a
here and
quill.
there, and then they'll move from tree to tree to eat different stuff. So they'll kind of forage for several hours every night, and then.
Do they climb on trees to get their food?
In fact, they spend most of their time up in a tree, and they might only climb down and walk on the ground just to move to another tree.
Oh, okay.
So they're very arboreal, we like to say. That means they spend a lot of time in trees. And that's why his claws are so long.
Oh, okay.
And he also has that tail that helps him balance on a tree branch. Circle. 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 Go. Turn to the quarter. There you go.
You're the boss.
This is Mr. Prickles. Our little porcupine. Well, actually, he's the big boys.
We got the entire thing on
Sit.
camera.
What?
We got the entire thing on camera.
Good.
Alright, I'm gonna take Prickles back, but thank you guys for coming.
Thank you for all that information.
Looks like he dropped the quill.
Yeah, he's shedding right now, so they're falling out all over the place.
There's a lot of them. So just be careful so you don't
He's not
poke
any worse
yourself
than
with it.
my Labrador rescue dog, that's for sure.
Oh yeah, this time of year, all the mammals
We
are shedding out that fur. Even me, every time I comb my hair, I just pull a bunch of it out.
And also, the African porcupines quills are easy to pull out, but I heard that on a documentary said that a North American porcupine's quill can be really hard to pull out.
It's kind of the reverse. It's a little bit easier for North Americans than for Africans. Because Africans, if you see them, we actually have some here at the zoo. Their quills are much, much thicker than his. They're like as big around as a pencil, some of them.
Oh, wow. Yeah, it has.
Because I remember Victor was here rehabbing after he got a spider bite. Victor's a big guy. He's North American porcupine.
All right.
Right,
Yeah, step
yeah.
up, buddy. Step up. Come on. Here, give me your other foot, please.
Where's
Oh, dear.
oh
It can go in a little container.
where did you get
Part of the morning.
where did you get the porcupine? How did you get it?
He was born in captivity, so his parents live at another zoo, and then we traded for him. So they sent him to us as a young porcupine.
It's interesting that he watches documentaries. You remember the difference between the porcupines. That's very good.
Yes.
Very
Here,
smart.
look.
Oh, fur.
Yeah, you can go ahead and keep those. Just be careful so you don't poke yourself. I don't know where you're gonna put them, but you got them, okay?
Okay, thank you.
You want a little piece of a paper towel or something to wrap it in?
Oh, yeah.
Just, I don't have anything else, so.
I heard that porcupines cannot shoot their quills, but so that's why they're loosely attached. They're loosely attached to the skin, so when a predator touches the quill, it can
Yes.
get loose.
Yes, it can get loose. I don't know if there's any bigger ones on the ground. Here's one with a black tip on it, if you want to pick this one up, right there.
Do they always have presentations like this?
Usually around 9:30.
So we've been here before and we never seen a presentation.
It depends on what time of the year. During the summer, we have them in the morning. Sometimes they just have a little bit of discovery center. So it just depends. So it depends on what our schedule is for that month.
Wow.
And sometimes we'll have the owl, special owl, or we'll have Yeah, so that was it, and the kids just loved that. And then soon after that, we had one of our docents that brought in a little pygmy hedgehog. And, you know, they got quills on them also, and they roll up into a little ball, and it's about that big when it's rolled up. And the kids were going crazy with that. They were able to touch it, you know. And, so, you know, it just depends on who's available, you know, volunteers, docents that are gonna be available to come.
You guys have a lot of volunteers here.
Yes, we have a lot of volunteers, and a lot of docents, and the docents are usually the ones that, other than the animal handlers, that we have, like, who's an animal handler? But we do have some docents that are trained to walk around with certain animals, whether it be a leopard gecko, or one of our little owls, or an owl, different types of animals.
These are all the quills of
They're
fur.
available, whether they come here, or they might, with this heat now, you'll see them more coming indoors. You know, and otherwise during the winter months, they would be standing around different areas just holding an animal, and people would gather around it. Wow. So it just depends, and now that it's getting so hot, there's people, the park closes here at 1 o'clock.
Yes.
So, you know, everybody tries to get in.
On Saturdays and Sundays, same hours?
Yes,
Oh, okay.
yeah. But it's supposed to get up to 115
Hey,
today.
yikes, that much, but it really is
Do
sharp.
you live in the area?
Yeah, we live in Palm Springs.
Oh, you do? Okay. Yeah, so you know what it's like.
It hasn't really been that bad this
Huh?
year. It hasn't really been
You
that.
know, it's just gonna start getting hot. And I live in
Yikes.
Rancho Mirage, and I know it's, this is, well, May, last month was the first May that it hadn't gotten hot this early. So, and it's just, but, because it's waited this long, it's only gonna get worse.
Absolutely the best job ever. Yeah, I love it.
I find 2 pieces of fur and 3 quills on the floor.
Yeah, I don't, you know, if you can wrap them up some way, that way they won't, and I don't think we have any tape, because if I had tape.
We, you know, get some peanuts.
We used to have some Scotch tape, but we don't. Here's, maybe you can put a sticker on the.
Thank you.
How's that? I don't have any Scotch tape here, so.
That's okay.
And you
I
got
think
it
that
wrapped
would
on
do
the
it.
sides? I don't know if you can sneak out there or not.
Is it in the middle? Yeah, it's in the middle.
Yeah, I didn't see where he folded it, so. That's.
I can't believe I found those quills.
I know, you picked up some more off the ground, didn't you?
Yes, he
Because there was one
did.
that was black and white that was thicker.
Yeah, he
So,
did.
yeah,
He got them
thanks
all.
for cleaning up for us. Now you can take them home and don't drop them on your mom's carpet, because somebody steps on them, they're not gonna be real happy with you.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay, thank you.
you're welcome.